On May 22nd, around 8 a.m., a landslide occurred in Qingyang Village in Guizhou Province due to heavy rain. Videos show a large section of the mountainside suddenly collapsing. A local villager reported that around 8 a.m. on the same day of the incident, there was a sudden loud noise as a landslide occurred near the nearby tea plantation group, with rocks continuing to fall intermittently over the following hour. According to Chinese media reports, preliminary investigations found 19 people from 8 households trapped. The landslide site features steep terrain and high slopes, making rescue efforts difficult. By 9 p.m. on May 22nd, rescue teams recovered 2 individuals, but they had already passed away. Another 17 people remained trapped. Most of those trapped are reported to be left behind children and elderly. One villager said that her brother-in-law went out to inspect the situation, but was buried under mud and rocks. Her sister escaped unharmed and managed to run out. According to a CCTV media reporter on site, behind me is the side of the mountain where the landslide occurred. If you look in the direction my finger points, you can see the mountain peak. The landslide began near the ridge close to the peak. As you can see, the volume of the landslide is very large. It rushed down from the high area and eventually accumulated in the river valley at the foot of the mountain. In the comments, one person pointed out that this requires serious attention. They mentioned that it had happened more than once already and called out that houses built alongside the mountain need protective drainage ditches for early prevention. According to Beijing News, aerial drone images before and after show a large gap in the mountainside. Measurements from drone surveys indicate the landslide area is about 1,040 meters long, 300 meters wide, with an average thickness of 10 meters, totaling approximately 2.4 million cubic meters of displaced earth. Experts commented that this type of landslide, formerly called collapsed rock, is rare in this scale. It usually happens after several days of heavy rain where water deeply seeps into the rock, causing cracks and collapse. Other analyses suggest that the prior drought caused the soil layers to dry out and become porous. The sudden heavy rain then flowed into these hollow layers, turning them into flowing muddy layers. This movement at the base of the soil caused mudslides and landslides. As of May 23rd local time, there have been no updates on the rescue of those still trapped. According to the paper's reporter on site, there are currently 3 main challenges affecting rescue operations at the scene. First, the large landslide area requires searching over a wide range. Second, damaged roads have made transportation difficult. Heavy rainfall caused several smaller landslides on roads leading into Qingyang Village, damaging roadbeds and creating safety hazards for personnel and heavy machinery accessing the site. Third, ongoing heavy rain has further complicated rescue work. The rain has made the mountain surface slippery, preventing rescuers and machinery from climbing in for rescue. The risk of falling rocks and secondary landslides remain high. Rescue work has been paused due to rain and will resume once conditions improve. In addition to the large-scale landslide in Qingyang Village, another landslide occurred on the morning of May 22nd in Changshi town. 2 people trapped in the landslide were found, but unfortunately, both had passed away. During rescue operations on May 23rd, a second landslide occurred at the Shangwang Miao Tunnel in Dafang, causing a full road closure. This blocked the route from Piaojiang town to Changshi town, further hindering rescue efforts. A staff member from the Changshi town government told the Beijing News that the 2 trapped individuals were in a self-built house located some distance from the mountain. The area is not a known geological hazard zone, and similar disasters have not occurred here before, which makes forecasts difficult. The staff member said the landslide was caused by rainfall, noting that this year's rainfall has exceeded the same period in previous years and has been continuous recently. At 3:33 a.m. on May 22nd, the Dafang County Meteorological Station upgraded its heavy rain warning to red, forecasting that the intense rain could cause floods and geological disasters in the area. The local meteorological bureau did issue a red warning for heavy rain before the landslide, and relevant departments claimed they evacuated people in recognized geological hazard zones in advance. However, ironically, the landslide occurred in an area not officially designated as a geological hazard zone. A local resident, Ms. Lee, tearfully stated that no one notified them to evacuate before the rain. If the early warning system focused only on known risk areas, while ignoring the overall risk under extreme weather, does this reveal blind spots in the disaster prevention system? Guizhou has experienced frequent landslides in recent years, each followed by official campaigns highlighting rescue efforts and praising post-disaster relief. Yet there is no discussion of accountability beforehand. Official reports emphasize natural causes while downplaying human factors. Heavy rain becomes a universal scapegoat, while responsibility for the incident remains unclear. The landslides in Guizhou reveal a system that prioritizes emergency response but neglects early prevention. If action before disasters isn't prioritized over emotional reactions after, no rescue, no matter how great, can restore lost lives and damages. This disaster should not be seen as an endpoint, but as a starting point for reflection. From May 21st to the 22nd, BGS City in Guizhou Province was hit by severe heavy rain, flooding villages, roads, and farmland over a large area. Many towns suffer varying degrees of landslides and mudslides. Some describe the event as a once-in-a-century major flood disaster. Piaojing Town in Dafang County was also among the worst affected. Villagers reported that water levels reached 5 to 6 meters, flooding homes. Families had taken refuge on their second floors. Many locals posted online pleas for help. This is the Xiaozai group, a Liangping village in Guizhou Province. We urgently request support. Leaders at all levels, please expedite. Hurry. We don't have time. Hurry. Oh my God, the rain is so loud. Please hurry. This footage, recorded by a local resident, shows a scene in the town. The river water level surged due to heavy rain, causing the riverbanks to overflow. Flash floods rushed down, destroying roads and bridges, causing highway collapses, and a large truck was trapped. Heavy rain in Guizhou caused a bridge in Sanghe Village, Dafang County, to be washed away. Villagers said this bridge is the main transportation route for the village, so now vehicles can no longer pass. A flash flood also occurred in Shangba, Guizhou, where an elderly person was swept away by floodwaters. This is Babao Town, Dafang County. The video shows the entire village submerged in water, with water levels nearly reaching over the roofs of the small cars. One person commented they have never seen Babao Town flooded like this in their lifetime. The content creator replied that even the older generation probably has never experienced such heavy rainfall. In Shangshui Township, Dafang County, rushing floodwaters roared through, making it impossible to distinguish between roads and rivers. This footage was taken by a passenger following floodwaters as they receded. Along the way, damaged houses and roads are visible everywhere, alongside debris left by the floodwaters, creating a scene of devastation. A young couple from Jiangsu Province, born in the 1990s, were traveling on a self-driving tour in Guizhou. When they reached Dafang County, they encountered a landslide. They recorded their journey and shared their experience.
We originally just wanted to come to Guizhou to escape the summer heat, but it unexpectedly turned into a one-day tour of a disaster site. When we first entered Guizhou, we were still admiring how beautiful it was in the rain. It felt mystical and especially cool. Shortly after, we started to notice some falling rocks here and there, but we didn't think much of it and kept enjoying the scenery along the way. When we drove into Dafang County, it became clear that the rocks on the road were just getting larger and more frequent. However, the map didn't show any detours or traffic jams. We were still about 40 kilometers from our destination, and thinking it wasn't far, we continued driving forward.
At this point, they were not yet aware of how serious the situation was. On the road, they also came across a car that had been hit by falling rocks. When they reached the downhill section of the mountain, someone told them there was a sudden landslide ahead.
The rocks came down from the highest mountain there. That area collapsed. There's only one road to take, but now we don't know which way to go. There's no cell phone signal, and the car is overheating. Look, these falling rocks. They are here too.
Near the Dafang Mountain landslide site, the rescue team stopped them. The team informed them that the road ahead was blocked and advised taking a detour. They decided to take a longer route and try to reach their destination via the highway. Along the way, they witnessed houses destroyed by floodwaters, a heartbreaking sight.
Seeing these houses washed away by rain made me feel an indescribable sadness. How many people must have been displaced?
The footage shows widespread devastation.
又有一个当地人跟我们说，我们现在去的方向前面也塌方了。
Just now, a local told us that the way we were heading has also collapsed ahead. Since we can't get through, we're preparing to turn back and find a nearby town to rest safely for the night. We've already been circling around these mountains all afternoon. It's almost dark now, and there's no way out of these mountains today anyway. We'll figure something out and leave tomorrow.
Besides BGS City suffering from heavy rain and landslide disasters, on May 22nd, Zunyi City in Guizhou was also hit by sudden heavy rainfall. Videos show that starting from the evening of May 21st, heavy rain began, and by the morning of the 22nd, many urban areas and streets were severely flooded, and numerous vehicles were submerged in water. Near Osmanthus Bridge in the city, the water on the road was more than 1 meter deep, and all the green belts were submerged. Many businesses were flooded, leaving the area in disarray with severe losses. Some business owners lamented, "We lost tens of thousands, and it's really hard for ordinary people." Videos show that near the traditional Chinese medicine hospital, the water depth reached waist level. Municipal officials sent pumping trucks, but due to the water's depth, even the pumping trucks stalled. Another video shows that one of the Public Security Bureau branch was also flooded, with many vehicles submerged and some activating emergency escape mode where the trucks already opened. A citizen on social media criticized, "Zunyi's sewage pipelines need repairing every month. They dig and fix and dig. Those connected officials must be finding excuses to pocket money." On the morning of May 22nd, Yuqing County and Miaotai Town in Guizhou were also flooded due to heavy rainfall. Additionally, on May 22nd, Wuhan and Hebei Province experienced a rare heavy rain flood disaster. Around 3 a.m., many Wuhan residents were awakened from sleep by repeated thunderclaps. Videos circulating online show thunder roaring alongside streaks of lightning cutting across the sky, which glowed an eerie purple, sending chills. After a night of heavy rain, Wuhan woke up to what locals call sea watching mode, with many streets transformed into rivers and vehicles submerged. Motorcycles and bicycles were blown down by strong winds, scattering in the water. According to Chengdu News, on May 22nd, due to intense short-term rainfall, multiple locations in Wuhan, including the overhead pass at Wuchang Railway Station exit, Baiyi Road near Wuhan University Gate, and the underpass at Hongshan Square, experienced flooding. A Xiaomi SU-7 is seen floating in the water, humorously called the submarine version by Chinese people. This Xiaopeng car somehow has a manhole cover stuck to its front, giving it a comical big mouth and fangs look. However, some worry that the missing manhole cover on the flooded roads may leave an unprotected hole, posing a danger for pedestrians or vehicles. A Wuhan resident posted a video saying, "I woke up and the sky had fallen. The third ring road in Wuhan is flooded." The video shows many citizens wading through water with umbrellas on their way to work. Another person said in the video that Wuhan has entered the sea watching season again, with the urban area turned into a vast expanse of water.
Isn't this too extreme? The water has flooded Jingshan Temple. Whoa, such a large area submerged. So scary, oh my god. Are there any fish? The water has flooded Jingshan Temple. What a disaster.
Videos show that Wuhan's new adventure has turned into a river. Driving there feels like boating. Some vehicles have stalled due to water ingress and are stuck, unable to move. This person posted a video saying it's been an unlucky day. The car flooded, climbed through the sunroof, climbed over the transit barrier, picked up a wooden stick as a crutch from a flower bed, and waded through dirty water to get out. A person commented, "Whoever told me sunroofs are useless, they really come in handy in critical moments." A wall also collapsed during the heavy rainfall, crushing many cars parked along the roadside. Videos also showed that Wuchang Railway Station has been flooded. Passengers are wading through water inside the hall, and many are trapped in slightly elevated areas. Water leakage occurred in Wuhan Metro Line 2. Many passengers are reluctant to enter due to fears of a repeat of the tragic casualties from the Zhengzhou Metro flooding years ago. Several netizens commented, "Are we going to relive the Zhengzhou Metro disaster? During heavy rain, it's safer not to take the subway. Heavy rain outside, light rain inside the People's Hospital." Severe flooding at Wuhan University entrance made one male student unexpectedly popular online. He was searching through shoulder-deep water, drawing onlookers' confusion. Why is he standing in such deep water? It was later revealed that his electric bike was submerged, and he was trying to retrieve it to minimize losses. Such weather has made life difficult for parents in Wuhan. Picking up their children is no easy task, having to wade through waist-deep sewage water. The kindergarten entrance was crowded with parents waiting to pick up children. They came to pick up their kids, only to find their own cars flooded. A person commented, "This is Wuhan's unique way of picking up kids." Many residents' homes were flooded. The footage shows water flowing indoors through window gaps, highlighting how high the street water levels reached. A resident's home flooded, and they could only pump out the water themselves to cope. "My hometown is flooding. It rained heavily all night yesterday, and now my basement is flooded. If this rain doesn't stop soon, it's going to be a big problem." This Wuhan resident was quite unlucky. He opened his business on May 22nd, but a heavy rainstorm ruined everything. "Look here, the street food stall I run. We opened today, but nothing got done. God, it started raining again and blew the tent away. See that? That money just went down the drain. We just opened today. And look at these flower baskets that came in, all blown away. How are we supposed to run a business like this?" During every heavy rain, delivery workers are the busiest and hardest hit. They get flooded with orders but have to navigate flooded streets. Another person recorded a row of drainage outlets spewing rainwater outward. They lamented, "This isn't drainage, it's clearly a fountain." Repaired every year, flooded every year, Wuhan's so-called sponge city, which supposedly cost billions, is back at its original state after one heavy rain. Look at this, look at this. Look, Wuhan White Sand Market, when it rains, cars get flooded. These two cars can't move. Rescue vehicles are already here. Wuhan's like this. Either it doesn't rain or it becomes a water city as soon as it rains. What's going on? Repair, modify, repair, still the same. In the comment section, a person dug up a Weibo post from June 4th, 2013 by Wuhan's Chutian Metropolis Daily. The article said Wuhan would launch a 3-year project to improve downtown drainage facilities, planning to invest 13 billion yuan to enhance drainage capacity overall. When daily rainfall is below 200 millimeters and hourly rainfall below 50 millimeters, the city would basically have no flooding. Wuhan would then say goodbye to its flooding. This comment received 3,690 likes and 294 replies. A person sarcastically said, "I know this one. Yesterday it rained as much as 16 Dong lakes." It's not that drainage is ineffective, it's that after 12 years, it still needs 13 billion yuan to unclog. It's now been 13 years, yet as a blogger said earlier, they repair every year but still flood every year. Heavy rain caused river water levels to surge. Reports say water levels rose sharply alongside section of the Yangtze River in Wuhan, flooding the riverside avenues. Starting on the evening of May 21st, heavy rain struck areas including Taiyuan County and Qili County in Henan Province. Several river sections rose and some roads were flooded. This water rises once a year. When will it stop? The upstream is totally ruined. Look, look. Even refrigerators are washed away. That car got swept away and can't move. Chengde and Henan again activated unannounced floodgate releases, causing downstream flooding, forcing villagers to abandon homes and losing all their furniture.
The key is that the flood control department released water without warning. I hadn't received any notice before the release. It was a vast flood. Everything in the shops got washed away immediately. This is the problem. Look at the dam's owner. He only wants to make money. He stores water every day, but once it rains, he can't hold it anymore and doesn't care about the people's lives. Just releases the water.
A car swept away by floodwaters drifts downstream in the river. People on shore watch in horror. Torrential floodwaters surged into a farmer's market. A man said this was the largest flood in the market's history. The glass door of a street shop was broken by floodwaters. The floodwaters are too fierce. Villagers anxiously stood at the intersection, watching the rushing floodwaters enter residential houses. There are 3 renters inside that house who haven't come out yet. They can't get out. The water is still rising. It is said that the 3 people trapped were eventually successfully rescued by the local residents committee. Look at this, man. This home is completely flooded. According to Chinese media Elephant News, on the 23rd, heavy rain caused river water to surge sharply in Qingyang Village town. Some roads were flooded, and floodwaters flowed through residents' ground floors. Local citizens say farmers suffered heavy agricultural losses. On the afternoon of the 22nd, a villager in Guanyin Temple Town told Jimu News that the river, less than 1 kilometer from his home, rose, overflowed the riverbed, and flooded the road leading to his house. He could only leave through the back door.
Look at the water at the back. It's risen. Look at the house across that way. 1 floor is flooded. Water has gotten inside the house too.
On the 23rd, a person from Taoyuan posted a video saying the floodwaters finally receded. The area was already poor, and now the situation has worsened. Rice fields are covered with mud and sand, and the cornfields have already been completely flooded. This year's harvest is likely lost. I finally managed to plant some crops, and now they've washed away. I barely earned some money and fixed up my house, and now it's flooded again. I barely got over last year's flood pain, and it's happening all over again. The beautiful village we built is destroyed. The old house we repaired is trembling from floodwaters. The car I'm still paying off disappeared overnight. We barely got through 3 years of the pandemic, and now things just keep getting harder. I just don't understand why there's flooding every year. I know you can't fight the heavens. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to laugh, laugh. Don't blame me, I'm just venting. But I still hope for good weather and a good harvest. Though this villager's complaints express emotional frustration, they reflect the genuine feelings of countless disaster victims. Facing merciless natural disasters, they feel helpless and desperate. Yet, as the tragic landslides in Dafang County show, how much of the disaster is due to human negligence? Taking Wuhan as another example, the government invested 13 billion yuan to build a sponge city, but failed to effectively solve urban flooding, which recurs every year. This exposes not only the Chinese government's disregard for people's hardships, but also the chronic negligence and dereliction of duty among some officials.